welcome. If you are interested in being a truly great entrepreneur, if you're interested in your business making a lot more money, then you should stay and listen to this brief little video. If not, then, by all means, shut it off and go, because this is really designed, although there's a lot of people who could benefit from this, the truth is the people who this is really targeted at, this is really going to help, are people who want to be great entrepreneurs. And I want to express that as a distinction from being a mediocre entrepreneur. So I'm somebody who I hate mediocrity. Zero interest in mediocrity in my life. And, that's kind of what I've decided to value. So we're here to talk about what does it take to get there, right? What does it take to be a truly great entrepreneur? And for me, what happened was I started my first business. I was not a great entrepreneur. In fact, I was just lucky to get the meager amount that I got. So it was a computer company. I was in high school. I happened to be good at computers through no merit of my own particularly. It was just, I'd been raised at a time in an environment where that was something that I was interested in, and I had accessibility to it, and I got into it, and with friends I learned, and then people found out that I knew at a time when not many people knew, and they started hiring me. That was it. And then I wanted to get better deals for myself, so I signed up as a wholesale distributor so I could buy, great video gaming computer technology because I was a geek. And that was what happened. It was, I didn't know what to charge at first. I charged $20 an hour when I was starting out because I thought my friends were making $5. 20 is great. I discovered later I was way underpriced, and I eventually got to charge $50 an hour when my friends made $5, which was pretty great. But I was not a great entrepreneur. I had no idea how to market. I had no idea how to strategically drive my costs down, manage my money, invest better, hire a team, manage that team, lead those people, train them, do performance evaluations, do great sales. In fact, I was abysmal, and that showed in my next company. I hated this. I didn't want to do it. That's not true. I actually liked it. What I realized was I wasn't good at sales, and I wanted to be able to take vacations. My father was a poor entrepreneur, and I didn't want to be like my dad. Okay, so you probably can look out there, and you can see there's millions of entrepreneurs who are not great entrepreneurs. So why did you sign up? What made you want to be an entrepreneur? For me, it's the dream. It's not, I didn't sign up to be mediocre. And if you resonate with that, this is a great conversation for us to have. If you don't resonate with that, like I said, this is probably not for you, because the truth is that it's going to take some work. And if you are okay being mediocre, it's not worth going through the work. And I don't mean that to be harsh. I mean that to be just straight up and real with you. So, what happened to me? My dad, unsuccessful entrepreneur, could barely take a week off for vacation because he would always be getting calls. Didn't make a lot of money. My parents were frugal, so we didn't go without, but we weren't in a great position. And I didn't want that life. I wanted freedom. I wanted to be able to have the most amazing experiences in the world, and I wanted to be able to share those experiences with others. I was really interested in advanced world-changing technology. I wanted to be able to finance that technology. And so there was a whole variety of different things, but I left business. And what I thought at the time was look, I suck at sales, at marketing. I don't have the social self-confidence. I'll let somebody else do it, and I'll just show up. That was my idea. The problem was, that leaves me here, still pretty mediocre, and I want to be here. And in fact, I want to be way up here. So, what do we do? I realized at a certain point in time I needed to go back into business, And realizing that, I had one really key understanding that I think helped me and has really brought me to be right here with you today. And that is, I realized from my previous experience that I developed quite a broad range of skills during my last business. And I knew I could fail at the business I was in, but I knew no one could ever take those skills away from me. So what I set out to do was to master a whole variety of skills that I thought were important to business. So these were sales, marketing, business finance, accounting, business law, management, leadership, recruiting, on and on and on, right? I'll tell you, I don't have a mastery of all of those subjects at this point in time, business law being a great example, but I at least was able to channel myself in this direction of learning. I I changed my focus from make a lot of money or make a business successful to become a great entrepreneur. Knowing that if I'm a great entrepreneur, then I can go in and I can make multiple businesses successful. Because if you're like me, you know that there's a ton of examples, a ton out there of where we have a little bit of entrepreneurial ADD, right? There's something like, ooh, I want to do that. I want to do that. Oh, I'm interested in this. And the truth is, the more we feed ourselves with the possibility of what's possible, horrible English, but anyway, the more we feed that possibility, the more there is that we can reach out and aim to do. And I don't just want to participate in one thing. I never have. I'm on my 14th business now. So I wanted to set out to be a great entrepreneur. And eventually what that came to is what we now call the greatest business course ever. And there's a reason it's the greatest business course ever. It's because no one has ever assembled all of these topics into one place. All of the things that are essential, and this was always the thing for me, right? I'm like, okay, look, yeah, I want to be a great entrepreneur, but I don't want to take 50 years to get there. I want to be able to make it as quick as possible. And I want to be able to make it consistent, because I look at people, I would meet friends, right? Somebody who I was so blown away by them at first. It's gone from nothing to a $30 million net worth in 3.5 years, down to a $5 million, right? Not $30 million net worth, $11 million net worth, down to $5 million, right? And then can't rebuild it. And I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to be the person who I could go in and I could do it again and again and again. And more, I decided that once I learned it, I wanted to be able to share it with other people so they wouldn't have to go through the same journey. And hence, we have the greatest business course ever. So, what is the greatest business course ever all about? It is, at this point in time, 469 videos. It's a lot of videos, I know. Don't worry, we'll talk about that in a minute to make it quick for you. It covers the A to Z essentials of building business. So it turns out that, not building business, making money in business. So this is specifically about making money. This is not about the mindset, although mindset is important. There's lots of people who do a great job of mindset out there. This is not about, making things fancy, right? It's not the idea. The idea here is wealth creates freedom, creates possibility, empowers purpose. So this is about how do I take that idea that I have and turn it into profit and value that I can convert into, fueling all the other things I want to do in the world. That is what this is about. That's the only thing this is about, okay? It's not about, having fancy creative advertising. No. It's about how do I take my vision and convert it into profit. And it turns out there's 6 skills that are necessary to do that. I'll run you through them really quickly. Every one of them has a whole bunch of stuff underneath it, but this will give you a basic one. So the first one is mastery, all right? You must start with mastery, because if you don't have mastery, none of the rest is predictable. And I could run through for you examples from VCs talking about this. I could tell you about how Warren Buffett would read 500 to 1,000 pages a day, how Mark Zuckerberg and Oprah and all these people spend 5 hours a week learning. Bill Gates spends 2 to 3 hours a day learning, on and on and on and on. Leaders are learners, okay? And it turns out there's a way, this is one of the things I wish I was taught when I was growing up, was how do I learn faster? How do I learn more effectively? How do I take this 10-year time frame and convert it to a year or 6 months? And there is a process for that, so we're going to go through with you the keys to how do you accelerate your learning. And then you can take that and you can accelerate that learning in your team, which is super awesome, right? It's going to be how you train. Number 2, how do you manage your money and reduce expenses? How do you get more for every dollar you put in? All right, because that's what you got to do. If you look at the millionaire next door, what is the difference between them? I have a friend who's a teacher, okay? Millionaire. How come? Not because he ever made so much more money. In fact, he took multiple sabbaticals. It was because he spent his money more wisely than a lot of people. Okay, and again, there's a way that you can go through. This is not just, hey, I'm going to spend less. No, there are processes, 3 in particular, 3 particular systems of how to look at the expenses in your business to reduce your costs. Okay? This factors into things like taxes, right? So we have whole sections on taxes. How do you save money on your taxes? How do you reduce your risk? How do you minimize your opportunity cost? How do you, it's all about getting more for every dollar you spend so that you have more and that you create more impact. Okay? Very, very important. So that's the second skill. Third skill, how do you get customers and sales? Okay? And how do you do that profitably? How do you make it so that you can convert a dollar spent on advertising into profits? I hear people all the time who they say things like, oh, I don't want to advertise. Why do you not want to advertise? Two reasons, usually. One, you have risk, right? You say, I'm worried I'm going to spend money and I'm going to lose it. Number two is, you're going to go and it's not an investment for you. You don't put in $1 and get $2 back. We're going to show you how, all right? And there's 7 models of marketing. It's not a simple process. We have 143 videos last time I checked on this subject, various different parts of it alone. How do you get word of mouth going? How do you find product market fit? How do you increase the lifetime value of customers? How do you drive down customer acquisition costs? How do you increase conversion rates? How do you get more leads? How do you increase the average dollar sale? How do you get people coming back? How do you brand effectively? How do you differentiate? All these different subjects, okay? So that's number 3. Number 4, you can do these things and not ever be rich. You want to be rich, you need a very important skill, and that is how do you scale, okay? How do you go from selling a few things to selling a lot of things? And this is where you understand what are the 5 stages of business. You understand personal productivity. So we go through what do the most productive people in the world, people like Steve Jobs, do to be more productive than you, okay? And there are 6 things, so we'll cover them. Again, what are the stages of business? Because so many people focus on the wrong thing at the wrong stage. We're going to teach you, hey, there's 5 stages of business, and here's what you do at each of those stages. Here's the skill sets that you need, because they're different. And so often I see people, this happens very, very often, people go out there, and what happens? They're successful up to a point, and then they get stuck. Maybe they're stuck at a few $100,000, maybe they're stuck at $1 million, $2 million, maybe it's $10 million. But they get stuck. And it's because they don't know the next skill set that pops them up to the next level. Or the next thing. And the next thing is constraints. You need to understand how constraints work across something called the essential business process. So you're going to pay attention to this. You're going to identify what they are, and there's a whole science behind constraints, and then how we get past those constraints. And then finally, how do we put on accelerators to put your company into hypergrowth? Okay? So that's skill number 4. Skill number 5, there is no self-made billionaire. None. Does not happen. Everybody needs a team. The great news is having a team not only helps you to achieve more faster, but it also takes less time. So when I went, the first time that when I first became kind of quote-unquote financially free, I don't know if I would use that term, I think it's a little bit of a misnomer, but I had a position where suddenly I could make, my business was making me $9,000 a month for 2 hours of work, 2 hours of work per week, right? It was a recruiting company I had, and I had a lot more success working a lot less because I was able to hire people to fill in where I was weak. And we're going to show you how to hire, how to get the best people. I had a recruiting company for like 7 years, and I can tell you most of the books out there are garbage, okay? So we're going to show you how there's a different process for high-end people or high-value people versus low-end people. We're going to show you how the economic equation of it works so that every person you hire makes you money rather than costs you money. We're going to show you how to manage those people to get the most out of them. We're going to show you how to train them. We're going to show you about leadership and evaluation. It's all in there. There's, again, like, I don't know, I think 101 videos or something on these subjects. So a lot of videos on, a really, really important subject, right? And finally, we come to number 6, which is multiplying ownership, okay? And this is something, it is the least talked about. I don't know really anyone who talks about it out there, but yet the most important thing in business. And it's about building assets in the business and then leveraging them against each other to multiply that value. You understand valuations. You figure out, okay, how do I reinvest the money of the business to compound? And do that very, very effectively. You understand, like I said, risk. You understand how to take the multiple of your business and use it to multiply faster, which is like a very fancy trick, but it's a way that you acquire other companies even when normally you wouldn't be able to afford them in it. Everyone you bring on is growing the value of your company. So it's quite sophisticated. And you know what the truth is? Maybe you don't want to get to that point. I don't know what point it is, but we're going to give you the tools and the skills to get there. And this is the big key. What are those skills? So this is the greatest business course ever, all right? There are no, if you have those 6 things, those are the only 6 things that actually make a difference in making money. Yes, there's making products. Yes, there's all different stuff that you do. But these are the things that make money. This is how you work on the business rather than in the business. This is how you create freedom. This is how you create profit. This is how you create scale and go beyond that. So I want to invite you to join. Depending on where you're at, I think there's probably no better value anywhere, but we're going to make it very easy for you, very no-brainer. So for the last year, for the first year, a little over a year of pilot, we ran this program for $3,000 a year for our clients, and we got great responses. So we have a net promoter score of 9.4. Net promoter score is basically the average out of a 10-star rating. There's a whole way of calculating it, but the bottom line is you ask the question to people, would you recommend this to your close friends or family members? And so the average score when we ask that question, we've had the lowest we've ever had is a 7, but our average is 9.4. Pretty good. I'm very proud of that and looking forward to increasing it further. Hopefully we're going to send you an email at some point in time after you start up, and I hope you'll be able to give us a 9 or a 10. And if not, definitely let us know because we definitely want to improve. So we'll also ask you for your feedback in that respect, and we encourage you to do the same. What else? Okay. So it's $3,000 a year. We're offering it now for $67 a month, which is obviously very, very little. I think if I work that out, it's like 20 cents per video or something. Super low. Which, by the way, okay, let's talk about this. So what does the greatest business course ever look like? Very simple. You go in, and everything is organized according to subjects on a hierarchy. So we modeled it after the Khan Academy system. It's very easy to navigate. So there's a section that says start here, and it gives you the overview of wealth building, helps you to understand the basic concepts, okay? Then there's each of those 6 subjects, which each break down into other subjects. So, and then under them are individual topic videos. So you can find exactly what you're looking for. On top of that, what we have is there's a bar at the top of the screen, which is for search. And so if you have some issue that you're working on that you want to solve, you're like, hey, I need to solve issues with respect to, I need to solve issues related to, we'll call it tax, okay? You type in tax, press enter, and it'll bring up all the videos for you on that subject. Or you say, hey, I'm struggling with cash flow. You punch in cash flow, you press enter, it'll bring in all the videos to do with that. It is mobile compatible, so you can watch it on your phone if you want, etc. Anywhere you go. What else can I tell you about it? Oh, there's a question and answer field underneath, so you can discuss with other people. If you are reading, or if you watch a video and you're not sure about some topic, right underneath there, super convenient. You can just enter your question, and somebody will respond to you. You can help others. It's fantastic. And by the way, this is something I want to insist and encourage you that when you join and you start learning this stuff, start sharing it with others. First of all, it's going to accelerate your learning, but second of all, you're going to help other people out, which is awesome. So there's that. If you have any concerns at all with it, this is again part of the no-brainer, because if you say, okay, well, why wouldn't I sign up for this? All right, let me ask here. Well, first of all, it sounds like a lot. It's 469 videos, and it's probably going to go up over the next little while. In fact, I guarantee you it will, because we're always adding little things, and the goal is to keep refreshing it over and over again, okay? So, great. That's a lot. Well, we've addressed that hopefully for you with the search tool and with the easy organization. If you have any issues, on every page there's a support link. You can just click it. You can send us a quick email, say, hey, I'm looking for this, and we'll direct you to where you want to go, which also is very helpful. Additionally, what else might you say? You might say, well, what if I get in there and I decide it's not for me? I think what I want to do is I want to be a great entrepreneur. I want to make a lot more money. But the truth is, there's a lot of programs out here like this. And you know what? That's completely fair. So very simply, we have a 60-day, no questions asked, full confidence money-back guarantee. Like I said, you're going to get into it. There is no program anywhere that combines all these things together. There are actually some great programs out there on marketing. There are some great programs out there on sales. Now, this is not really a sales program. So if you're like, hey, I want to be an amazing salesperson, I recommend you don't go with this program. Although we have stuff related to it, because of course sales is part of, this is about how do you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, build the profit of the company? And so you might build a sales system, but you're not actually, this isn't, hey, here's how you go out and sit down in front of somebody and sell them. That's not the purpose of this program. Okay, so if that's what you're after, go and look somewhere else. We have a lot on marketing. The marketing stuff is all very much universal. So again, if what you're looking for is you're like, hey, I'm totally on point with my marketing, but I need to nail down LinkedIn. We don't do specific LinkedIn things. The way I fundamentally disagree with that viewpoint. We're about what are the essentials, because if we nail the essentials, then they apply everywhere. I have this conversation with people all the time where I say, hey, look, guys, what is it that you describe for me marketing? And they'll start throwing out LinkedIn, YouTube, newspaper. It's like, no. We have to start realizing we start with the strategy. We start by figuring out who are we marketing to. What you're talking about are channels, okay? Do channels matter? Yeah, they do. But if you nail the right market with the right message, and we're going to show you how to figure out your market, and we're going to figure out the message and figure out the pricing and all these different things. Once you've nailed those two, how you communicate is not that important. It makes a little bit of difference because you do have customer acquisition cost, and so it's called your cost per impression can be lowered. So it does matter, and so it's part of the overall how do we figure this out. But we're not going to tell you, hey, look, here's how to do LinkedIn. Okay, we're going to tell you how to do marketing amazingly well, very, very comprehensively. Like I said, it's the most comprehensive module. It represents almost a third of the content there because it is such an important skill, and it's going to make you a lot of money. That being said, if you're looking for some very specific area of whatever type of marketing, this is not the program for you. Okay? So you're going to go in, you're going to play with this program, and you're going to get some really amazing results. Okay? So, I mean, the thing that I want you to realize, and this is kind of my last word of caution. So, all right, you're going to save a ton of money. You're going to get a great program. We're going to take all the risk away from it for you by letting you try it for 60 days, risk-free. That being said, this is going to require an investment in yourself. This is going to require learning. Are you someone who wants to be a truly great entrepreneur, who's committed to doing that for yourself? Because if you're not, you shouldn't sign up. This is for people who are going to go and they're like, hey, look, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to take my business to the next level. If you are, sign up right now. Okay? So click, it's probably below us, farther down on the page, but I don't know what exactly this page looks like. Click to sign up. Super simple. You'll enter your information. It's a 256-bit secure shopping cart, so that's all taken care of. If you have any issues inside the portal, you can cancel yourself at any point in time. You don't even have to email us. It's right in your account information. You can just go, there's my subscription, cancel it. You can send us an email. If you ever are concerned and want a refund, you will not. If you do, honestly, I will do everything possible to make sure that it was worth your stuff and give you your money back. So go and sign up. Oh, one more thing. If it is available on this page, and it's not always, okay? So I want to caution you that this is not, it's only something we do once in a while. We sometimes offer a 14-day $1 trial, okay? You will get everything. This is not one of those cheap trials where you're like, oh, well, for 14 days you can try a couple of videos. No, it doesn't work that way. And the reason it doesn't work that way is because everybody's at a different stage in their business. So this is not a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Business doesn't work like that. Anyone who's selling you that story is lying to you, or they're doing something that will not work long term. This is all about something that you're going to invest in once, and you're going to be able to benefit from this skill set for the rest of your life. Okay? So we're going to give you access to everything for $1 for 14 days. After that, $67 a month. You're still going to get the full 60-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked. Sign up. I'm going to see you guys on the inside.